Hey everybody, today I want to bring you a story about the amazing Meghan Markle. Yes, I haven't really talked about her much on my channel before, but I did watch her wedding and I do support her 100% because Meghan is a woman who practiced hypergamy. She did it, okay, and I applaud her for that. And she recently made some statements as far as identifying as a woman of color that has actually upset some people. And it's a little amazing to me. And I'm going to tell you what she said in a minute. But first, let me say that, again, I support Meghan Markle. She is beautiful. She's well spoken. She is classy. And most of all, no matter how she identifies herself, she is a woman who practiced hypergamy. Again, anybody who is new to my channel, well, now you know I support hypergamy. I support it 100%, and I'm happy for Meghan. But let me say, as a black woman, I do feel that other black women should definitely embrace and support her, because there are some who felt like they couldn't do this because, oh, she's biracial. Look, does it matter? Some of y'all have biracial people in your family tree. But anyway, she came out of a black woman. Okay, this will go down in history. History books will have it that the Duchess, the woman who made it into royalty from the United States of America, a so-called commoner in their country, is called the commoner. She was birthed from a black woman. Now, even if she wasn't birthed from a black woman, I would still support her because of hypergamy, and I just think she's a great example. But as black women, don't reject her because, oh, her father's white. You know, you have some black men who are against our unions with white men and some other people, but that's not going to stop. But some of them will say that, you know, don't date our daughters with white men, even though they lust for our daughters with white men. So it kind of is a little interesting. But I'm not going to get all into that with this video. But what I will say is that as black women, she's still a part of our race. She came out of a black woman, and you can still connect with her and support her. And there are a number of black women who do. I'm not saying there aren't, but I just want to say that. So anyway, again, the history books will show a picture of her mother as the mother of the woman, the Duchess. So, who married into one of the richest, most well-known and respected royal families in the globe. And I know that statement is going to have some people saying some stuff. So, now I want to share with you what happened. She was in South Africa with her husband on business, and not just business, but to support some people in South Africa. Now, on the website, it said that they were there with aims to educate, train, advocate for a group of equipped youth, vulnerable groups, civil society, and governments in human rights, justice, and advocacy. So when Meghan made her speech, this is what she said. She said that I feel incredibly humbled to be in the presence of all of you as you stand firm in your core values of respect, dignity, and equality. Then she went on to say, on a personal note, may I just say, while I am here with my husband as a member of the royal family, I want you to know that for me, I am here with you as a mother, as a wife, as a woman of color, and as your sister. And the crowd erupted into applause and cheers because of what she said. Again, she says, I am here as a mother, a wife, a woman, and as a woman of color with you, and I'm your sister. So, she was embraced by the children. People were there. They were very happy for Meghan and happy to see her, and they connected with her. And I want to read you some of the comments that was said because I have to get into this. Let's just go. Let's read it. Okay, so this is some of the comments left on Yahoo, okay, from the article. It says, from some people, she's there as a woman of color? How brave. What if she said she was there as an influential human being to unite all races and genders? Really? Correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't she be in her new role as royalty be all inclusive? We are all people of God. If you don't want skin color to be an issue, stop making it a topic everywhere you go. Meghan should have reached to all women, whether black, white, or whatever color. Bringing up color only made her sound racist, and that she referenced color of only one group when the problem is more than just about race. She also forgot to mention that she was a daughter too, but I guess she didn't think that was important. Be sure you emphasize that woman of color of speech, Meghan. You were supposed to be a royal representative of all people, but you make sure to get that in. Very demonstrative towards people of color than others. But isn't she also white? I thought she had a white parent and a black parent. Does that mean she's more black than white? Why can't she just be human that wants to help all people? Her point is, I'm also a woman of color, white. Just be there as a human being, okay? God help us. Yes, you are here as a woman of color. The question is, what color? Laughing out loud. Is it interchangeable in your case? I doubt the Queen approves that statement. I knew from the beginning that this card would be played. The wife of the Prince of England is seriously playing the oppressed minority card? Seriously? She's American, so that race card is always playing. She's trying to make people believe she's genuine. She is a phony. I thought she was 50% Caucasian. I'm sure the royal family is mortified. Huge mistake to marry that person. Funny how people want equality and racism to be a thing of the past, yet always bring up race. Okay, so you have seen some of the comments. Now, this is what I have to say, okay? It's true that we are all human beings, okay? It would be nice if we lived in a colorblind world, but we don't. We don't. It's true that white could be considered a color. Most people are not literally the color white unless they're albino. Most so-called black people are not the color black, but there are some people very close to it in the continent of Africa. We know that race can be considered a social construct, but it doesn't change the fact that people have to identify people. When someone commits a crime, do they say that human being robbed the store? No, the cops are going to ask for a description of who robbed the store. They're going to give you a skin color, they're going to tell you the skin color so you can figure out what the person looks like. They're going to tell you what their facial features look like, and then they can narrow it down to what possible so-called race does this person belong to so that we can catch the person that did it. This will always exist, okay? I don't understand why, because Meghan Markle said she was a woman of color, that offends some people. Is it because she acknowledged her black side? Meghan Markle might be 50% Caucasian, but she is not white. Everybody who is not considered white is called a person of color. Now, I know that some people might feel, white people might feel like I'm still a person of color. I have some color to me. I'm not transparent or whatever. I mean, you do have some people who have more pink undertones, some who are very pale, but we know what it means. We've always known that it means to not be a white person. Now there are people who do not feel like they want to have white privilege and who are not racist. There are plenty of white people who are very kind and who are not racist and can get along with anybody. But it doesn't change that the ruling race on this planet for a while, and I'm not getting all into how all that happened and all that racism stuff. I'm not doing it with this video. I'm just saying this is just what it is for now, and that is white people. And so everybody who is not considered white is called a person of color. And when many other people who are not as famous as Meghan Markle have said as a woman of color, plenty of people did not catch an attitude about it. Is it because she is married to the most well-known royal family on the planet, and Harry married a biracial woman? That's what he liked. I've been knew and heard that he was into black women and biracial women, and he married one, and she said, I am a woman of color still. You know, it doesn't matter what her skin complexion is, her facial features. All what she is saying when she says, I'm a woman of color, that just means that you are saying that you are ethnic. You are still ethnic. You are not white. She might not have the darkest skin, but her facial features, bone structure, anything, we can look at her and we know she's not a white woman. So she acknowledged that. Now, she is in Zimbabwe, and that was also her way of connecting to them to know, you know, yes, in America, she is still considered a minority. Like someone said, it's an America thing. Yes, she is considered a minority in America. And she went there to let them know that while she is 50%, I'm not even going to get into percentages actually, while she is half white, half Caucasian, whatever, she is also still half black. And she acknowledged that and connected with them to let them know, I am still a woman of color, just like y'all are people of color. Now, I don't think she was saying it in a race. She wasn't saying it in a racist way or in a way to offend white people. So why are some of them so offended by what she said? Okay, she never denied her white heritage, but why be offended if she did acknowledge her black heritage? Is she supposed to sweep it under the rug and pretend like she doesn't have a black mother or that she doesn't have black blood running through her? No, she's proud to say that she is a woman of color still, because she is. Plenty of biracial people cannot walk through the street and identify themselves as white, or some of them can't even, some people wouldn't even know some people are biracial by looking at them. I've seen it. They would just assume and be treated just like anybody that's black. They don't get white privilege or the opportunity to just say, I'm human, I'm a human being. We don't get that privilege. The everyday person, whether we're black or Asian or Arabic, we don't get the privilege of just saying we're human, because we're not identified as just human. That's not reality. That's not how this world works. Okay? It's just not. It would be great, but that's just not how it works. Like I said, when I gave you the example of when someone commits a crime, identifying people. Okay? Meghan, I get what they're saying, you know, she can still unite people. You can still unite people and still claim your heritage or whatever. Yes, she is a human being, but she's a human being that lives on a planet as to where she will be identified as a woman that is not white, a woman of color. Okay, now if you have a number of people that say we don't want this privilege, or we don't want to just identify people as skin color and stuff. We can all be just human beings. Like I said before, that would be amazing, but that's just not happening no time soon. So don't throw a fit because Meghan Markle said what she said. You know, what she said, it just seems like her acknowledging that she is not white made some of them uncomfortable. And why? Talking about it's a mistake he married her because she's saying she a woman of color. Get the hell out of here with that crap. Get out of here with that. She didn't say anything wrong by saying that. And what's the mistake of him marrying her because she said that? It doesn't mean that she's a hotep, fight the power, I'm oppressed. Saying that you're a woman of color doesn't mean that you are saying you are oppressed. So please stop it. If she would have said, I come to you as a biracial woman, that would have been accepted. But her saying that I'm a woman of color, that's not accepted. Is it because it's usually black women who are saying I am a woman of color, so you kind of seen her as a black woman all of a sudden? I'm not trying to speak for these people because I can't say how, where they're all coming from. I'm just saying this is possible. It's true that other groups of people also identify as people of color, but you do hear a lot of black women say a woman of color. And when Meghan Markle said I am a woman of color, it kind of gave some of them the reality check again that, hey, she's not a white woman. Maybe she's getting in touch with her black roots right now. And that's making somebody uncomfortable. And I think that's a bunch of bullcrap. So I'm not going to say anymore. I read you some of the comments and I just want to hear your opinion about it. Leave them below. Leave them below. And like I said before in another video, back in the day, no matter what your percentages was, if you weren't white, we were all called colored people. Woman of color, colored people. That's all I have to say. And I do think that we're getting to a point soon where things with race won't be that big of a deal, but I just don't think that what she said was that major for those comments to be made. That's just me. So leave your comments below again. And Meghan, if you ever see this video, I definitely support you. Peace, everyone.